You know what's kind of weird? It's 2023 and more people are working from home. Now, I mean, that's not news, obviously, right? But what's weird to me is the fact that we haven't really figured this thing out. So this year, I've given myself the task of helping someone elevate their work from home environment. So I'm going to start with Joel. And a little background on Joel. Joel is the founder of this very new social media platform specifically for gamers called Channel 3. So everything in this social media platform is going to be gamified, from events to community to content, all optimized for gamers. Joel used to be the editor-in-chief for The Dad and head of The Dad Gaming, which he helped grow, by the way. He also teaches esports broadcasting. Now, unless you live under a rock, esports is kind of a big thing. Like, about 97 million Americans play games online. Big thing. I'm going to help Joel level up his Battlestation, and this is going to be a multi-part series, so I'm encouraging you, I'm hoping that you guys stick around, and so please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification icon so you don't miss an episode. So we're going to be changing things little by little, but before that, I think it's important to actually see what Joel is working with.
Hey, what's up everybody? I am Joel. I'm going to be giving you a tour of my home office. I work in here, I code, I game, I stream, I teach. I spend a lot of time in this room. Let's go check it out. So these doors didn't always used to be here, but when I started to work from home, I needed a barrier between me trying to work and my kids and my pets trying to stop me from working. At any given time, there are numerous animals, including my children, waiting there, trying to distract me. I bet my dog will be here any second. And there she is! In fact, this room has been through many changes. It's gone from a living room that we never used, to a home office, to my headquarters for thedad.com when I was working on The Dad. And it is bring your kid to work day. Anything can happen. And now Channel 3 headquarters for my new venture, social network for gamers called Channel 3. You guys hear that? I love this room. I spend a lot of time in it, but it does definitely need some work. So let's go through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
All right, first up, the good. These are the things that I like. A pre-built gaming PC, a Secret Labs gaming chair, two 32-inch curved monitors, a Blue Yeti X microphone, and a carnival-style prize wheel. Okay, the bad. These things could use some work. A poor quality webcam, bad lighting, controller with stick drift, deteriorating headphones, entry-level keyboard and mouse, and speakers. Let's talk aesthetics. Here's the ugly. Clutter everywhere, clunky desk, clunky storage, disgusting mousepad, ugly dog, aw, fake tree, whatever this webcam stand is, extra seating for when my son wants to game with me, and last but not least, wires. Wires. More wires. Just so many wires.
I feel like this is like a nerdy version of MTV Cribs, so I think I have to say, this is where the magic happens.
We did a little bit of introduction. What do you think is the best or the first thing that you would want to upgrade in your space?
Look at this video quality. I look like a mime. I look like the ghost of Christmas past. I think the camera is most important because we're going to be shooting videos here, right? And having a better camera, I think, is probably, foundational.
I think that's a very good point, especially since you teach esports broadcasting.
It's essential, right? When I am going to meet with someone, often it's virtual. When I am teaching, it's virtual. When I'm streaming for Channel 3, virtual. So yeah, it's important. It's funny, like we'll go out and spend money on nice clothes, whatever, for appearance and first impressions and stuff when you go in the office. But like we don't think about the quality of this and what it does for appearance. So yeah, it's important, and I'm willing to spend money to make it better than this.
I gave you two options. The first option was a plug-and-play camera, less expensive. There's very limited controls. It's basically just a webcam. And the other option is a little bit more expensive, basically upgrading your webcam into a mirrorless camera. And the great thing about having a mirrorless camera is that you can actually use it as a camera, not just for streaming, for live meetings, but for when you're out with your kids. The cons for that though is it's going to be a little bit more expensive, a little bit more complicated to set up, but I think the quality and everything else that comes along with it is going to be well worth it.
Gave me a lot to think about.
The most important consideration is that my birthday is coming up in April, so I think I'm able to splurge. But it is important for appearances and stuff for the job and all that. Also, I do some paid photography gigs too, so I would love to upgrade.
All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna go with the second option, and we'll see how the quality compares to what Joel is using right now. So I gave Joel a list of things to get, with the biggest purchase being his new camera. We decided to stick with the Canon since he's more familiar with it.
Who needs this? We don't need these instructions. I got Michael Soledad.
Anyway, I also recommended an affordable lens, a capture card, and a power adapter so that his camera is always connected to power.
Through the magic of video editing.
That's awesome. It looks good.
And the thing is too, this is the same exact light. There's no artificial light happening here.
This is a huge upgrade. I'm just assuming, but I think you like it.
Yeah, cool. The lighting is nice, and at night, I found that this camera works really well at night too.
These new cameras are pretty amazing. They do a really good job with low light. Did you use an old lens? Did you get a new one?
It's not an old lens, it's a new lens, and the new lens is 22mm f2.
It looks great.
Like here, I have this just to kind of show the depth of field. So look at that. Look at that depth of field there.
That's
phenomenal. Cool. The only downside, and nobody really told me this, but if you get a new camera that is crystal clear, it works best if you are an attractive person. Like if you have a good looking face. It shows everything. Look at this detail. I gotta start shaving before my video.
How was the setup for you?
It was pretty good. You recommended some other stuff. I have an adapter like this. At first, I was frustrated and I'm like, this isn't working. Did a little bit of reading, and the camera has like a little dummy port. You flip a little rubberized thing out of the way, and then you're able to plug the cord directly into that dummy battery. So once I got past that, it was smooth sailing.
Because I think a lot of people get very intimidated by using a mirrorless camera versus a traditional webcam.
I guess that's true, because there is the extra step of plugging it through the device that you recommended.
Yes, the Elgato CamLink.
Basically an external capture card that you plug in an HDMI input to, and then an HDMI output. A PC in this case just recognizes as HDMI something. It doesn't care what it is.
So how do you think this will affect or influence the way you work?
I mean, I need to use lint rollers more often. Like, look at this thing.
It's giving you
You
more
can
work
see
to do.
everything. It's like, it's disgusting. I've already had a couple of meetings before this one, and every meeting I've had, every single one, somebody says something like, wow, you have a legit streaming setup or something like that, you know? They don't even recognize that it's the camera quality. They don't say, oh, wow, your camera quality is great. They say, oh, well, you have an amazing setup. And I'm like, there's nothing. It's just the camera quality. That's all it is. Good morning, America. Hit me up. You know how to reach me. I recognize that this camera is expensive. It's definitely on the expensive side. It's a decision I made, and it's worth it for me.
How did you prop up your camera?
So let me show you the patented Joel Willis webcam stand. So I went down to my woodworking workshop, and then I just nailed this guy in there. And then it just sits like this, and the webcam sits right on top.
So right now, what do you have? Do you have like a little tripod?
Let me show you. I have it mounted with this Game of Thrones box set and like 6 or 7 copies of the Dad Law book set.
Which, by the way, you can get. Where can they get the book, Joel?
Which you can get at dadlawbook.com.
That's a nice segue.
Very organic.
All right, Joel. Well, what do you think is the next stuff do you think we need to work on?
Tell us in the comments what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell for no. I don't know.
Let's do that. What do you think? What do you guys think Joel needs to work on next? And I can't wait to work on leveling up the whole thing. Eventually, everything's going to change.
Thanks, Michael.